Hello, fellow Movie Crusaders, and welcome to another episode of Sean's Movie Crusades. My name's Sean Wasserkrug, and today we're going to be reviewing one of the more talked about films of 2020, Netflix's The Trial of Chicago 7. Now, this movie is one of those, like I said, it's a Netflix film. It popped up with a trailer about a month or so back, and it has been just talked about by everyone as an Oscar favorite, as one of the better films of the year. A lot of my other review people, I haven't listened to the reviews because I try not to let them sway me, but just seeing their little snippets, have all talked about this as being one of, if not the best film of 2020 so far, which for me is a high mark because I thought Defy Bloods and technically Hamilton, even though I don't consider that a film because it's a performance from 3 years ago, those two films to me are such a high bar for me for 2020 so far that I'm not sure if this movie is going to be able to top that. But it definitely intrigued me. It's got a great cast, and it's written and directed by Aaron Sorkin, which many people will know from West Wing or Social Network or many other great films. And it's one of those where he's actually doing the directing, which I think this is only his second directed film, I believe. But he's quick-witted, he's snappy with his dialogue, and with the cast surrounding him, it definitely looks like it was going to be something super intriguing. So let's go ahead and jump into the review and see exactly what I thought of The Trial of the Chicago 7. Now, the Trial of the Chicago 7's plot is based on a true story, and it's the story of 7 people on trial stemming from various charges surrounding the uprising at the 1968 Democratic National Convention in Chicago, Illinois. This cast, first off, best ensemble cast of 2020, hands down. Now, one thing for me that I always consider very high in remarks of telling me how well a movie does is if you take 2 actors that I am particularly not fans of and don't really care to watch many other movies, and you make me love their performances, that speaks wonders to their performances, the writing, the directing, and all that. And 2 of those actors are Eddie Redmayne and Sacha Baron Cohen. Sacha Baron Cohen, I like him in some things and I despise him in other things. I've never been a fan of Borat or Bruno or any of those kinds of films. I liked him in Ricky Bobby and I liked him in Sweeney Todd, but I've never been a real big fan of Sacha Baron Cohen. And Eddie Redmayne, I mean, he's fine as a Newt in Fantastic Beasts, but I've never really been a big fan of Eddie Redmayne, just because I just haven't. I've watched his movies, but I just never been crazy about his performances. I know he's one of the better actors considered in Hollywood, but I've just never been a big fan of him personally. But these 2 put on 2 of the better performances of 2020. In terms of Oscar favorites, first off, I can name probably 7 people in this film that probably deserve an Oscar nomination. Obviously, Aaron Sorkin for director, this film for best picture, original screenplay, they deserve that. But in terms of acting performances, Redmayne, best actor, Sacha Baron Cohen, best actor, Jeremy Strong, probably best supporting, Aya Abdul-Mateen II, who this guy has been just on fire lately with Watchmen, and he's got Candyman still to come out hopefully this year, unless they push that back to next year as well. This guy, everything I see him in, I love him in, and he's a fantastic actor, and he's going to just, if he hasn't already been exploding, like, not enough people know his name yet, and this guy has been in fuego in everything that I've seen him in the past few years, and I'm excited to see him in this, and he also deserves probably supporting actor knob in this. Mark Rylance, fantastic job in this film as well. Joseph Gordon-Levitt did a solid job. I don't think he should be nominated, but he does a fantastic job in this film as well. Frank Langella, wow, his performance in this film is infuriating, but it's so damn good. There are so many fantastic performances in this film. And the main thing that I can say about this film is it's a court drama. It really is. And for a lot of people, they either don't like court dramas or they love court dramas. But one thing that happens with court dramas is that there tends to be a point where there's a lull and it can get a little dry or boring. And with the Trial of the Chicago 7, that never happens. It is brisk. It is quick. It is funny in certain respects. Sacha Baron Cohen's banter back and forth with Jeremy Strong is a highlight of the film for me. I was never bored throughout this film. The way they did this film, the way they kind of framed it up is the movie literally starts with the trial, and then as we're going through the trial, we revert back to the incidents that led up to the big incident. So we're not seeing what happened and then the trial. We're seeing the trial with the background of what happened sprinkled throughout, which kind of keeps you kind of going with it, and you're not kind of getting lulled into the court drama of it all, which you're not going to in this one. The court drama in this is fantastic. The way it's shot, the way it's directed by Aaron Sorkin and written by Aaron Sorkin is masterful. And the way you can make all these characters just unique and just captivating the screen anytime. And there's a lot of other great actors in this as well, like John Carroll Lynch, Alex Sharp, Ben Schenkman. The list goes on and on. There's so many people in this. Michael Keaton's got a part in this film as well, small part, and he does great in it also. There's so many great actors in this, and they all have great moments in this film, to the point where every actor, especially of the Chicago 7, have a moment where they can stand up and take center screen and just really put on a great performance. I loved this film. This is probably, and I like I said, when I heard a lot of people saying this is the best film of 2020, I was like, yeah, I doubt that. But it is seriously, in my opinion, right now, the best film that we have gotten from 2020. It deserves so many Oscar nominations. I don't know if they necessarily deserve the wins, because I think Delroy from Defy Blood still probably deserves the Best Actor nomination, personally, for me. But this film is a must-watch. Now, I know that some people, though, like I said, speaking for both sides, there are some people that are probably going to have a problem with this because it's very democratic, and it does have a lot to, even though this happened 42 years ago, it still speaks relevant to stuff happening today. So for certain people who are against those things or on the other side of the fence of those things, they will probably not enjoy this movie. They will probably hate this movie because of the way it is written and the way it's steered towards. So this movie is not going to be for everybody. So while, yes, for me, I am not a political person by any means, I'm able to see both sides. And I just, like I said, I'm not a big politics person, nor do I really necessarily like political movies. I just watch the movies for what they are, and how they're portrayed and how they're written and directed. And this movie right here is hands down the best film of 2020 so far, which it's October. There's not much left, but we do know that usually the big Oscar favorites are starting to come out now. And this is definitely going to be one of the Oscar favorites coming out. And I highly recommend this film. Like I said, it's not going to be for everybody. A lot of people are going to go, that movie sucked. But for me personally, I loved this movie. High recommendations from me. And to me, could not find a single thing wrong with the film. And it is getting a perfect 10 out of 10 from me on my review score, which has happened very, very rarely since I started this show. I don't think it's actually ever happened since I started the show. But it is getting a 10 out of 10 for me. Strong recommendations. And the performances of, especially to me, Eddie Redmayne, Sacha Baron Cohen, Jeremy Strong, Yahya Abdul-Mateen, and Mark Rylance. Those five. And also Frank Langella. Those guys knocked this out of the park. It is, like I said, one of my favorite films, easily, of 2020. And I can't wait to go back and just dissect this film more, and just in terms of the performances and the dialogue and just the quick wit and snappiness of the whole thing of it. And I hope you guys enjoy it as well, because it was one of my, not necessarily surprised, because I was kind of prepared for it to be good, but I was also prepared to just not believe the hype and just not enjoy the film. But I was gladly surprised by it, and I can't wait to go back and see it or watch it again on Netflix. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you guys did, go ahead and hit that like button. If you guys feel like this review is worth sharing, go ahead and hit that share button. But most importantly, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to the channel so you guys stay up to date with all the latest videos that pop up on Sean's Movie Crusades. And of course, don't forget to follow us on all the social media outlets you see below. Coming up next, I know it's been out for a lot of people lately, because I think you were able to get it sooner than others. I personally wasn't. But Bill Murray and Rashida Jones on the Rocks comes out next week on Apple TV. So be on the lookout for a review for that. And yeah, until next time, in case I don't see you, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Movie Crusaders.